This is a Connecticut hood. This is a Connecticut
Is
hoodie
that a
right
is
here.
that a Norfolk? You know those you know those North you know
I don't know where. No, it
you
might
know
even be Old
you
Navy.
know if you get one of those type of hoodies, shit, those Gore-Tex hoodies that survive blizzards and shit.
Oh
That
yeah, no. This is
see,
well, no. But this is Old Navy. Don't sleep on Old
I
Navy
don't sleep
fleece.
on Old Navy. I don't sleep on Old Navy.
Yeah.
I don't
So
sleep on Old
nah,
Navy.
this yeah, this shit. This is a Connecticut hoodie. This shit is at least
It,
5, 6, 7 years
I
old.
feel like when I looked at the type of hoodies and stuff that they had in Florida, I'm like this is like little hoodie like windbreakers and stuff. But
Yeah.
when I was in Springfield, you know what I'm saying, it was simple. It was like, huh. I saw the minute I saw seeing the thermals and the winter gear come out and the Gore-Texes and stuff, yeah, they're pretty penny now. But if
Yeah,
you
but
go
they
look,
last forever.
but
They
yeah,
last
you paying for quality. Like
But
that
that's what white
130.
people do. See, that's what white people do. Black folks be too stuck on name brands and shit.
Nah.
But
I get that ugly plaid looking jacket that can take a goddamn blizzard from apocalypse. That when I had that motherfucker on, out and
the
listen.
apocalypse, Joe.
Sometimes I go outside butt naked in my damn Gore-Tex. I'll be sweating that much. I didn't get it. I didn't give a shit. I was like, yo, bro, I don't know about you. It's hot in here. You kidding me, bro? Like, dude trying to look cute in some goddamn sneakers. I'm like, nah, bro. It's damn boot season. And
It ain't cute. It ain't cute season up there. That's why I
I
had to
wasn't
tell
wearing,
one of
and you
my
know,
friends.
they were looking at black people looking at me crazy because they were like, dude, why aren't you wearing your Timbs? Like, Tim, bro, I got these waterproof Gore-Tex boots that I don't even feel the snow. I don't feel nothing. My body, I'm listen, bro. I got on a thermal, and I got on these pants, and I got on. Man, I was good, bro. I was
I had to
toast.
tell a friend that had moved up north. I was like, she was like, "Oh, I can't stay warm." It's like, stop trying to look cute. It's
Stop telling.
like, stop. Come
About
December, January, you can't be out there in these
yeah,
streets looking cute. Like, you just got to do what's functional and what's warm.
exactly. All right, guys, let's begin. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Joe from BMT2 Unfiltered, sitting in here with Jay. We wanted to do this talk because lately, as of late, we've been getting hit by a lot of different talking points of the system, victimization, different other stuff, which we're not going to say that they're very disingenuous. However, there are some fractures in their clause. There are some mentionings of, the victim mentality. And I wanted to do this talking point. Me and Jay, we sat down. We have thousands on thousands of talk. Honestly, we probably could have had our own Oprah talk show. Just me
I
and
haven't
Jay.
even had coffee. I haven't even had coffee yet,
Yeah,
Joe.
she's too good to get coffee. I had to catch her before she get coffee. I hadn't even started drinking. So you know it's serious. So but what on to happen was we brought up this topic, and if you come in, please like the video. The topic was just because I'm black don't mean I'm a victim. Jay, is there some truth to that, or do you feel like no, as a black person, we're automatically born in the world as victims?
Yes, there is truth that doesn't mean I'm a victim. I feel that like you were saying earlier, like, not all of us like had terrible upbringings. Not all of us grew up in the hood. Not all of us grew up in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of us actually did grow up in houses with both of our parents, and you know, who got up and went to work every day, and stuff like that. The proverbial white picket fence house, so to speak. Some of us did grow up like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that the outside world is, I was, you know, not knowing about black people's struggles. But as far as me growing up, like I was telling you before, and I know you're familiar with Connecticut, where I grew up at in Connecticut, it was mostly a black town. It was mostly the two
Mm-hmm.
towns were mostly black people, mostly homeowners, mostly two-parent households. So, and it's funny because every once in a while you out some of my fellow classmates will joke about like people who are in the hoods now, and they're like, okay, you're from Bloomfield, let's stop acting like you had a rough fucking upbringing and shit. So as far as my
Mm-hmm.
upbringing is concerned, like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't live that life. Now, of course, now getting older, and then when I started working and starting seeing more injustices, then yeah. But at the same time, I mean, I hate using the word victim.
Yeah. Right.
I really hate using the word victim when it comes to like day to day shit. Now, don't get me wrong. My grandfather told me a long time ago, and I always live by this. And the older I get, but he's always like, Whitey is something else. Go ahead.
So
But no, hold on, Joe. But he said it. I have to reiterate it. He held it onto it. He was like, Whitey is something else.
oh, right.
World War II veteran. He knows shit.
They do. I'm not gonna. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, boy, my granddaddy he would say some off the wall stuff.
But the older
About
you get, right, you start realizing, like, well, he ain't that far off.
well, yeah, he thought he was crazy when he would be rocking back and forth on that goddamn porch, flies and everything flying on his hand and stuff, and we're like, why don't you move or get a fly slapper or something? Like, why do you just sit there? And he be talking about everything. You know what? We didn't walk down that dirt road when Jesse was coming down there with that damn pickup truck. He wouldn't have caught us. Like, I'm like, well, why do y'all keep going down the same damn dirt road? Like, fuck. Like, go to the woods. You know, they had them damn dogs in the woods. Like, the granddaddy. I mean, but you know, here's the thing about it, and I hate it because your time period that you grew up in versus what they. First of all, I hate you niggas when y'all be talking about, well, if I was in slavery days, like you some Django, some shit, and you had a pistol on side, and you had a whip, and you were fighting slave masters and shit. Like what they went through and what you're going through, you could do better. You can do a lot better. That's why I think that's what infuriates me and Jay sometimes, because when we gotta understand, y'all. I ain't gonna say I don't know your situation, but you're not that bad as your parents and their parents had to have it. You can do better because, first of all, our children and us, we can go to school for free. This is a one country where a black person can go from rags to riches. You see it with these young little rappers, and I've seen Facebook videos with little girls selling little brunette braids, and now they got their own patents, and now they're making money like 500,000 more than some of y'all are trying to make. But
Do you
that's
know
because
some black girls came out with a vegan lipstick line?
wow,
And
that
they're
is wonderful.
selling it in Target now. But basically, they were making it in their mom's kitchen, like after school. So I think they're in college now or just graduated college. But yeah, they were making vegan lipstick. So I mean, it can happen. I mean, it definitely can happen. Especially now, all these black women that have these hair products. Now, I've been natural for many years, and some of these hair products that are in Target in national stores, I remember when some of them were first coming out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when they first started making some of these products.
Right. And the thing about it is, again, one of the biggest issues and this is the thing about it. I understand that, listen, you look at, a lot of y'all look at it, well, the system did this, the system did that. If you haven't by now, in the past 20 years of your life, started learning how to use the system, mind you, you go to school just like every other kid in that classroom. You see, this is why when y'all say that sounds like a Republican talking point, no, that sounds like a logical person's talking point. Why would you not learn how to work and maneuver in a system that you were born in? Mind you, all of us in the States were born with Social Security numbers. It's not like you were born in a vat of gasoline under a goddamn basement. You all got a chance to be somebody. You choose and you can hold your own destiny. Nah, man, I'm black. I got 2 strikes charged against me. When you have that kind of victim mindset that this is as good as it gets, all I got to do is fight cockroaches and rats and sleep with the nearest craziest person in the world. And when you start limiting yourself, this is why I say, ladies, you have a choice. What kind of penis you stick in you? Men, you have a choice whether you're going to sell that blow or you're going to go to school and blow through the classroom and get to the highest level of the United States. You have that choice. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. We're not going to say you're not going to have judgment because I've been judged before. Jay's been judged before, but that did not inflict on who we were as people. You see, it's a mentality type of thing. You see, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I learned being with my white friends. They would see something crazy. And naturally, to a black child, when I started out in the military, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. No. And they were like, no, Joe. One of them grabbed my hand and said, Joe, don't back up. This is when I was in the military. I said, dude, we can't get over that hill. Yes, we can. Don't back up. you can get you got it. You got to visualize that you can conquer that. You got to see that I'm not weak. I can take down that hill or I can take down that fort, but I just have to believe. Yeah, I'm going to go through some heartaches. Yeah, I'm going to have some hard times, but guess what? If I see it through, if I believe in myself, I'm going to get it through. I thought they were crazy when I saw them jumping off a battleship into the ocean and swimming around. I said, y'all jumped off a totally good boat. Like the fuck? Who does that? Come on.
I mean, we jumped off a boat. We jumped off a boat.
Yeah, but we had chains and shit. If everybody knew how to backstroke, we probably would have been fine. We could have probably got to the Galapagos. I know that's pretty fucked up to say, but Africans weren't swimming like, well, we could swim. I mean, that's the thing about
Black people still, but you know what's funny? Black people still can't swim.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm telling you,
they literally offer free swimming lessons at the Y, and people still don't take advantage of the shit. They go, it's like you said, why are you not taking advantage of the shit? It's literally free.
I'm trying to tell y'all right now, man.
You know, sometimes, I mean, a lot of times you really have to do a research. Honestly, you have to do a lot of research. I was watching a Vice documentary in it, so obviously we know the new thing now is weed. And they were talking about, I guess, I forgot what, I don't know if it was Seattle or Portland. I'm not even 100% sure where it was, to be honest, but they went into a black neighborhood because they basically, the documentary was about why aren't more black people, you know, investing or trying to get involved in these dispensaries or these growing businesses, because basically it was the documentary was about these black guys that started growing weed legally, and they sell it to dispensaries. And so they went into this, you know, and they were from the hood, from the inner city, whatever. Come to find out, there is actually a program for young black men to learn how to do this. Things are out there for you. You just have to find them. You know, so
I don't disagree.
I mean, they're not plastering it on, you know, on billboards, but if you do your research, it's out there. And obviously, and that's the thing, in a lot of cases, you know, and I mean, I'm not going to get into the industrial prison complex and industrial and racism and institutionalized racism and all that, but a lot of times certain things are out there, but you just have to put the blunt down long enough to do it. You have to just stay the fuck out the streets long enough to fucking do it. You know,
right? I'm trying to tell y'all right now, man. Like me and Jay, where we are in our life, I never can get enough of success. And when I hear black people say we don't have the resources, I say, speak for yourself, motherfucker. Speak for yourself. If you're too damn lazy to go to a library and read, which is free. If you're too lazy to go to voc rehab, which is free. If you're too lazy to go fill out a job application and bust your ass, which is free.
And see, and that's the thing, folks. Well, I did fill out a job application. Did you just fill out one, or did you fill out 10, or did you fill out? Do you know how many jobs I had to apply to before getting my job? That's the thing. Motherfuckers give up quick. They're like, "Well, I applied to 3 different jobs. That's it."
Nobody's going to hand you salvation. Y'all think that this is why I say black people, sometimes you got to learn how to do things on your own and for yourself. Like you got to listen. This is why I given up on trying to coach black adults. I don't. I given up on you niggas. I left y'all in Black Honda a long time ago. I taken a handful of guys. See, let me tell you how the Jews did it. Because they already knew that their parents, they lost the parents. So what they said, listen, we got to train up the new batch of Jewish children to never let nobody attack them in media, never let nobody attack them at their economics when they're in school. The Jews are the most defensive people when it comes to their network of themselves. They know that, listen, if you want to be contributing to the society, you got to put in. Now, the thing about it is, we're too worried about goddamn who's in bed with who got this and who got that. Listen, if we put that same energy that we put into trying to get ass into our schoolwork, I'm trying to tell you, you will see some changes. As much as hungry as I see y'all trying to get into the NBA, I wish it was the same way as seeing people try to get into the bar, seeing people trying to get into medical schools and stuff. Y'all make it seem like, listen, it's almost it's 2018, about to go to 2019. Where's the first black hospital? You see what I'm saying, Jay? Y'all, it's like we're looking for a black messiah to come out. Oh, we got Obama. The world's going to change for black. No, it doesn't work like that. We're not weak. We're not. I get it. Crack era hit us. I get it. Welfare hit us. I get it. Slavery hit us. But you got to understand, at some point, you got to look. I get it. These things will hit you. And I don't mean to be a jerk, but everybody, listen, everybody has their turn with slavery. Everybody has their turn with slavery. Shit, Africa's still doing slavery right now. They will probably have to wait another 200 more years before they probably advance out of slavery. And y'all can't say that ain't true, but we can Google that right now, and I probably pull up doggone 3 countries that are still doing slavery. They just don't want to show that, but they'll keep asking for that UN money. You gotta ask yourself,
and that's the thing, I do want to clarify, like, we ain't want no back to Africa shit. Like, folks always try to use, we can go back to Africa and just go. Ghana has a program, but you guess what? When you go to Ghana, when you go to them African countries, you already have to be established. You already have to have some means of making money for the next 3 years. You can't have any felonies. You can't. So they don't want Pookie and Ray Ray.
Yep. Listen, I want to give a shout out to one of our viewers. He says, I live on SSI right now, to an illness, but I'm about to go get my IT certification and try to get a job in IT field. Already worked jobs like McDonald's and warehouse. And shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Because I've been there. Me and Jay have had our job. You got to understand, you got to start somewhere so that way you can know where you're going so you can plant your feet. I swept grocery stores till I got to become a manager. I worked as an apprentice, picking up the doggone tool bucket, carrying up and down the roof before I started telling men what to do. And I'm sitting down drinking coffee, looking at the paperwork. I sat being a private. You got to start somewhere. But if you want to just accept that, this is it, as good as it's going to get, you can't talk no shit to any brothers or sisters who are trying. I grew up, I was born in a house. Sorry.
You know how many times people done called me white girl or
black people,
or this, that, and the third, like.
Exactly, Jake. Black people, I'm tired of us doing that to our own people. I'm tired of us. Whenever y'all see another black person who does not live in some type of area that is not like your own, y'all easily try to disassociate yourself or disenfranchise them as if what they talk about, like they don't have their own struggles. Y'all said Obama wasn't black because he wasn't born in a black community and he had a white mother. We could have made Obamas in our own goddamn community. I'm tired of y'all saying that y'all need white people for success. You can be successful in your own right if you just work and bust your own ass. I got SSI. I got a VA check, but I still work and still do what I need to do around my household. Y'all can't keep on using that shit. Jay has had some time, if you don't mind me saying, Jay's had some time like, Joe, I'm out of work. I said, what you gonna do? When I say this girl did so much goddamn Ubering, I said, God damn, boy. You thought she was a goddamn Jamaican taxi driver. But you know what? I respected her for that. I respect every black person. See, back then, it wasn't nothing for a black person to lose a job and get their ass back up on their feet and go back to work. Let's talk about that.
Do you know how many times I've been let go from jobs? And the longest I've ever been without work was like 3 months. And honestly, every single time I've gotten a new job, I gotten more money.
Thanks.
So it was kind of like, I always look at it as that proverbial blessing in disguise where it's like, oh, well, shit, I got another job, but I got more money, And then I realized too, sometimes sometimes even talking to recruiting agents and stuff like that. Do you know how many times recruiting agents have told me that, oh, you know how many people aren't willing to take a short-term temp position,
You got
or aren't willing to take this or that, and I'm like, but well, before I got hired at where I'm at now, the job that I had before was only supposed to be a 3-month position. I ended up staying there for 6 months. And that last job, I used to work overtime on Saturdays. Like
what?
I was putting in 50 hours a week and Ubering.
And doing shows in the car while working. You,
So it's not that it can't be done. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when folks be like, oh, you're this, you're that, it's like, yo, y'all don't know my struggles. Like, I'm not just sitting here talking off the top of my perch.
but see, the thing about it is they don't know what you had to do to climb up on that perch. See, this is why I don't be hearing you doggone we shall overcome niggas. This is why I don't hear y'all. I done put on my Beats headphones, put on my damn stunner shades, and I done walked out there in my doggone silk pajamas and say fuck it. Because honestly, I worked and busted my ass doing 3 jobs. I worked at a doggone fiber. Do you know what it's like to work at a fiberglass factory? That shit is itchy as fuck.
Ew.
I mean, goddamn, talk about, listen, man, a fiberglass factory, it is hell. I believe that there's a place in hell for fire. I working at a decatheter plant where you have to use your hands with gloves and pull the decatheters off of steaming rods, and they start to come through and burn your knuckle. You can't tell me about my struggle. I don't hear you niggas when y'all say I can't do it. The white man has all the, listen, it takes work. Bust your ass, save your money, invest in something that you're good at, and then make it work towards you. Y'all say there ain't no good women out there. Where are you shopping? Where are you going?
But that's the thing, Joe. Then somebody looks at somebody like me, and then they'll be like, "Oh, well, you got too many bodies, or you got this, or you got that." It's like, okay. It's like a lot of motherfuckers out here looking for a unicorn and shit. But it's like, all right.
Listen, let me tell you right now, man. I told you.
And guess what? There's a lot of black women out here like me. Most of my friends work too. Most of my friends, and that's the thing about it. These same dudes that are. That's why when dudes are complaining about this shit, honestly, Joe, I don't have women like that in my circle, so I can't relate.
I think the thing about it is that everybody looking for the El Shabazz and shit. And y'all talking about, when y'all bring up these doggone back then in the day, when y'all bring up the cities and marvels and stuff that they did, I just want you to know, make sure you know those people work. Those people's mentality was nothing close to how we are now. When y'all get on y'all knees and say that we want justice, I would say build your own damn justice. Build your own system. Y'all understand? I'm trying to tell y'all right now. Y'all talking about gentrification while they're buying out Atlanta, Harlem, and all those other places. See, because you know what? Those immigrants and minorities that are coming over and they're beating you in certain places because they understand that you're not willing to start from the scrub floor bottom. I understand. Listen, I know, guess what? Black people have been here. But when you use the talking point that, guess what? We were slaves and we did this and we didn't get our apology. Listen, Nick, I stopped looking for that apology a long time ago. Listen, I said, fuck that apology because I know that ain't nobody going to give me no kind of sympathy when it comes time to go get that Fortune 500 check. See, I understand that I got to put in my work. I got to put in that work. I got to show my ancestors today, listen, you didn't raise no weak boy. Your granddaughters aren't weak. I watched this one boy tell my daughter that you're just a girl, you can't do it. Guess what? My daughter got best student 2 months in a row because a boy told her you can't do it. You're just a girl. So she kept on doing it again and again. And when the principal asked her, well, what are you gonna do next month, Kira? I'm gonna get best student of the month again. Because I don't see no competition. I'm going to just keep on beating y'all. And you know what? You know, she told that little boy, why won't you let me be it? Well, step up to the plate. That's a little girl who's only 6 years, that's only 5 years old, told a little boy that is 7 years old to step up to the plate.
Yep. And my daughter is the same way. My daughter is the same way.
You can't ask for much, Jay.
Right. No, I was just going to say, she don't take no fuck shit off these little boys, and she's 11.
Y'all got to understand, man. If you want the finer things in life, You got to bust your ass. We're not competing like we need to be competing. We're not competing like we need to be competing. Y'all quit trying to say that this, system, that. Listen, why don't you try to get your ass in the system and learn how to work it? Don't y'all see everybody up? The Indians are doing it. The Jamaicans are doing it. Go up north. If some of y'all ever lived up north or lived around some area, and I'm saying you never seen it, but when you see Jamaicans come over here, they save up their money.
That's what I grew up around.
They save up their money, put it into one business, and make that business. They'll run that one store and run 3 businesses out of that one store. A tax business.
Yep.
a goddamn bakery. Like they'll do 3 things in that one business. 3 different owners work in one business. And y'all gonna say, well, that's because they work together. They understand that, listen, when you get big enough, you can move out and go get your own damn store.
They shipping they got the barrel shipping, they got a travel agency, they got the no lie, there was a place right down as a matter of fact, because I grew up with the dude's son who owned the place. And when he got out, guess what, he went to college, he graduated, and then when I ran into him, I was like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I work for my dad. I'm like, figures. I was like, but that's what I was like, oh, so I said, so your dad still got the place, such and such. He's like, yeah. And that's what it was. Like I said, it was shipping, it was a travel agency, it was accounting. It was all of that.
Y'all make it seem like us blacks, we can't rise up and get somewhere and achieve. I don't see black men as weak. I don't see black women as helpless. When y'all be using this victimization, well, black people don't know any better. I don't understand you Negroes. When y'all say we don't know better, like somehow we just got thrown in the goddamn game and we don't know how to play the game. Just the same way as I hear when people say they know how to get that welfare check. Hey, guess what, bro? Listen. Here's what you got to do. You got to do extra. Come on now. I can tell you right now, I know 8 dudes who can tell you how to master get in your SSDI. I can pull out 9 women who can tell you how to get into the goddamn housing.
But Joe, when you get welfare and food stamps and all of that, do you know you can go to programs for free to finish your education? When you're on those programs, when you're on those food stamps, or even when I was just on food stamps for a short time after my divorce, I was getting mail like, oh, you can take a free CNA course. Or do you know how much free shit was getting thrown at me to finish my education?
Because they want you to grow. See, just think about it. When you listen, when y'all say, listen,
I mean, not saying that a CNA is where it's at, but I mean, you start there, you work it. That's the thing. And I think too many people feel that they want to walk in the door and be the fucking CEO.
You gotta want something like y'all, brothers. Listen, brothers. You want a good woman, bust your ass until one can meet your qualifications, until where you can say, hey, I see you doing this. I got this going on. Let's talk over coffee. Sisters, you want to find a good man? Don't set your standard up. Well, listen, I'm going to school. I got me a job. I got a car. I'm right now at my parents' house, but I'm about to move out on my own. Listen, brother, I get it. You driving in my direction. But if you really want to talk to me, get your stuff together. Let's just see where we're going in life. And then when you get to where you want to get to, see, y'all make it seem like, well, white people, listen. Y'all like talking about struggle love. But when do you get tired of struggling?
But that's the thing, Joe. But then folks side eye me when I say I don't do struggle love no more. I tried that shit once. I ain't doing it no more. I'm 40. I just turned 40 years old last week. I'm not doing struggle love. I don't claim to have it all together, but I ain't doing struggle love. Like I can't.
Listen. Every dread is for a struggle that I went through. Every dread is for a struggle I went through. I got a lot of struggles. They drip off of my head. But one thing I understand is that they do not control me. I was handicapped. I was blind. I wasn't able to work. I couldn't stand up. I know what it's like to be bedridden. I can get up and run and move just fine like any other man now. I know what it's like to have a broken household. I know what it's like to not to have your children. I know what it's like to have to deal with the system. I know what it's like to have police run up in your house. I know what it's like to have a gun put on you. Never did I lose faith and lose value in myself. You gotta understand, brothers. You can control your own destiny. Just because you got incarcerated, don't mean when you get out you can't make change. Just because, sisters, you have 1 or 2 babies doesn't mean you have to run up to the next man to prove your value. That I need a man to be
And
someone.
you don't have to have a baby with every man you with.
Yes, you don't have to have a baby by a man so that man can be with you. No, listen,
Because
y'all
guess
need.
what? Because for those of y'all that know, I have one child. I have one child with a man that I was married to. So a lot of motherfuckers sit on the same panel, and Joe knows it because he's seen it, and talk a lot of shit about me. But I got one fifth fucking kid. One. And it was with a man I was married to. So,
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, is it a struggle? Yes. Do I struggle? Yes, absolutely. Am I perfect? No. But at the same time, I get up and keep pushing.
I think the thing about it is, one, it's work. It's work. That's all it is. We ain't gonna beat on a dead horse, but you gotta understand. Listen, if you don't get the politician that you want to, raise your children to be the politician that you want to see in office. You hear what I'm saying, y'all? You couldn't get an Andrew Gillum, but I told Jay, I said, if we raise 8 or 9 Andrew Gillums and little girls, and we push them into law, politics, education, this is what other people are doing. Like, listen, they understand that. Listen, it's not enough to just want to be a Foot Locker. It's not enough. Just not saying that this is not enough just to want to be a masseuse. Sometimes, I mean, if you're fine with that, that's fine. But you got to be willing to contribute and put in the time and the work and the effort to be successful. If you ain't going to want to build yourself up, then, hey, accept where you're at. But see, I push my kids to do better than what daddy's doing. Daddy, my kids get confused when they see other children and they look at their living devices and they're like, Daddy, why don't they have a door on the back? I don't know. I drive them there. I don't live in those communities, but I show my children that, listen, you can choose to live like this, or you can choose to live in that type of house. But if you want that, stand. Don't work. Be dependent on somebody else to want to save you.
And it also doesn't mean that you're going to wake up when you turn 18 and walk into that. You got to build it from the ground up. That's all I'm saying.
Work. Takes work. Jay, didn't you say that you and your ex-husband, y'all had to go apply for the loan to get the house, and y'all had to help each other, push each other to go to the schools and all stuff? Like,
oh yeah, we had to take classes. There was all kinds of stuff we had to do.
But that took work. That took long night hours. Y'all sitting at the table and y'all trying to figure out, okay, we got to do this. Then we got to do that. We got to go through this. Listen, me and Melissa had to go through the same thing.
I'm going to put the phone down for 1 minute.
Go ahead. Me and Melissa had to go through the same thing. Listen, man, I know what it's like to live in a trailer. Goddamn, no working toilet, no AC. The struggle is real. But you know what? Those times I had there, I had time to actually want to build myself up. Work hard. That time when the AC almost fell out of the goddamn window, and I grabbed it and it slipped my hands and I pulled it back in, and I sat there in front of that Xbox. I said the story before. I sat there in front of the Xbox, hands in pain. I was in tears because I was tired of my condition. And on that blood that was dripping out of my hands, I swore to myself, I said, I will get myself out of my affliction. I will do it. I will do it off of the sweat of my own brow. If it meant I would lose my common sense and mess up my body, I will get us out of here. And in 8 years, I'm where I am today. I'm in the upper middle class bracket, but I busted my ass. I didn't get no handout. I didn't get no handouts. Have I ever had food stamps? Yes. Have I ever had WIC? Yes. But guess what? Those seasons passed where I said, yo, now my kids know about going to goddamn Outback. Now they know about all that good, finer stuff. Why? Because daddy understand I have to go through the struggle. They know, all my kids know is daddy works. Mommy works. We don't know when we're gonna get it, but daddy and mommy, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it for us.
You know what? As a side note, Joe, you know what my daughter said to me a couple of days ago? She's like, "Mommy, I love when you take me to fancy restaurants, even though I only get a grilled cheese and tomato soup."
Mm.
Spoiled ass damn chick.
I mean,
But guess what? At the same time, I'm teaching her. Well, even if it is a fancy-ish restaurant, and you only get a grilled cheese, at the same time, I'm teaching her that don't be accepting fucking like a supersized meal from any old dude out there. Because I'm the same way now, where it's like, well, you laugh at me when I say I don't fuck with these restaurants. It's because I didn't go to those restaurants coming up.
that was the standard. You had a certain standard that you keep, and you stuck to that. You didn't want to diminish it. And I try to tell that to people. Listen, man, y'all get mad when y'all hear a brother or sister have a certain type of value. You think that they're too bougie. You damn it, why can't they be bougie? Why do they need to come? This is why I don't understand. Y'all quit trying to shame your own to, well, you need to be more humble. You need to come down off of that. No. Why don't you build yourself up where you can come to their level? Then you probably feel good about yourself. Why are you talking down on Pookie and Ray Ray? I can talk shit about them. Because at one point, I was like them. And then after I said, yo, this is not working. This is not healthy. This is not a longevity type of lifestyle. It's not. It's a very volatile and abusive lifestyle for men, women, and children. I don't know why y'all glorify the hood. Yeah, man, making ironing, laying on a dirty mattress and making fried bologna on a damn iron board and shit. And those are that good time. No. Stop it. Some black people, y'all never were even in the hood. Some of y'all want to go into a lifestyle that you know damn well y'all parents are not born y'all into. Why do y'all keep making it seem like black kids don't be going to school? Y'all don't hear us shooting up no damn school. Y'all don't hear about us doing none of that crazy stuff. Some of y'all listen, as much name brand stuff y'all be wearing, as much doggone y'all parents be going working a whole 40 or 60 hours as a nurse or as a carpenter and stuff. Y'all make it sound like black people, we don't be doing things. Like y'all don't be having good lives. Y'all make it sound like fathers aren't in the home. Like mothers don't be busting their ass, a single mom taking care of 3 boys while they're putting their ass to school. Yeah, I wish y'all stop being disingenuous. Like we just that doggone fucked up. Like we can't be doing things in life. Damn it, my mom was a single parent with 4 kids, worked 3 jobs. Both her kids went to the military. The other 2 kids, guess what? When my dad came back into life, she turned over the power to him. After a while, I moved out at 16. Did for myself. We can do things as black people. Y'all stop that disingenuous shit that go with me until master bring me a piece of cornbread and some lard butter, and then I could probably get up on a nail or some shit. I don't hear y'all.
And I mean, this isn't saying that racism doesn't exist and that shit doesn't exist, but it's like at the same time, you just, sometimes you got to live better and work better. And I was trying to explain to someone the other day, is like sometimes you just got to, you know what? Yes, we know the system is fucked up. We know the system is built against black people, but you got to make that shit work for you. You got to make that shit work to your advantage.
Shout out to Clever Kev, a brother who is going to medical school. Shout out to Clever Kev for a brother going to medical school. Shout out to different brothers and sisters that we have brought on the panel that are doing stuff with their life. We don't praise the blacks that are actually doing things, that are working in offices, that are working in trade. I don't shame no man or woman for their job. But I say if you can get to the highest level of that job or that field, do it. Do it.
And sometimes, what did I tell you the other day? I said, when I explained to someone, I said, sometimes you got to shuck and jive a little bit just to get to the top. Like it is what it is.
It is
It
what it
doesn't
is.
it doesn't make you less of a man or whatever. Sometimes sometimes you gotta tap dance a little bit.
Hey, y'all can say, well, I ain't gonna do that. Ain't no man going. Listen, bro. Whatever. I don't hear your shit.
Exactly. You know
Listen.
how many times I sat there and oh yeah, yes, Karen, yes, yes. Oh gosh, you're so funny.
Yeah. One time I didn't recognize Jay's voice when she answered the phone one time. I said, who is this white girl that's on the phone? I hung up the damn phone on her. I didn't know who the fuck that was. You know, sometimes I sat in meetings. I sat in meetings with doggone with white people or doggone Latino people, and they'll say some shit off the side of their neck, and I said, mm-hmm. But then when I became the goddamn head nigga in charge, say that. Tell me that joke again that you said last month. What's that joke? I forgot. Yeah, bitch. I wrote it down. Read it verbatim. Say it slowly. Say it slowly. You see,
Joe,
I make sure.
Paul said home cooked meals are for the men that work and pay bills, the ones that don't that get cereal. Well, Paul, I've said many times on this show, give me something to submit to.
Listen, man. I try to tell y'all brothers this, man. Women, you want to know why women will come to a man that they see is making moves and advancements. But the problem is, it's all in what you're shopping for. You're shopping for tricks for treats, that's what you're going to get. If you're shopping for the home cooked meal, make sure you find somebody who's already operating within that realm. I'm talking about they are doing these things. I'm talking about let's go to a cooking class. Let's go do something that is out of the norm of the ratchetry, or let's go talk about politics. Let's talk about science. Let's talk about religion. Let's talk about different stuff. I need to find out and delve into what your mind is, so that way I can see. Hey, can you cook? Yeah, you're a man. You can cook. Yeah, girl. Listen, I can make a doggone good beef stroganoff with some doggone veal with some venison. What? You do all that? Yes. How about I show you? Sometimes you got to restrain yourself from sex. I know that's a hard thing for some of y'all to do, but literally,
Listen, Joe, don't get ridiculous now.
no. Okay, but that doggone 1 hour doggone pleasure you got from doggone Vanessa, shit, she
But you
might
know
not be the
what?
one.
You have to, yeah, but you know what? Like I said the other night, that's when you have to learn. Folks laugh at me when I say it, but you have to learn to separate the shit. If in fact you do, like when you said earlier, like I was working, I was doing all of this shit, I still was getting it in here and there for my own sick pleasure. But at the same time, that's why I said that's where the fuck boy came in, because I knew I wasn't going to be dealing with that particular person or that particular person for a longer period of time. So I wasn't making the home cooked meals and doing all of that submission shit and all of that shit. It was what it was, like you
Okay,
said. But if
so you knew what you attracted. You knew what
right,
you okay, but for me, when I was on my grind, I didn't have no time for no women. I didn't, because I was like, if I want a specific type of woman, and I'm not going. I have my night cravings. I had my times where I didn't want to go fuck with that one girl, but I went over there. I had two. I went 2 years without sex. Not
oh
everybody can do
God,
it. Not everybody can do what I do. But where I'm at now, finally got a piece of the pie. Everybody can't do that. But it all depends on where your discipline and your mentality is at. Again, I put in the effort, I put in the drive, the time. If you want that princess, if you want that woman, that ride or die chi, you gotta understand, y'all. What are you giving, or what are you producing to attract that type of bumblebee? What kind of flower are you making? Are you growing? Because if you want that one, listen, you're doing that. You can pick whatever apple you want from the tree. If you got the ladder and you climb that high, you can choose to go back to the bottom floor and grab that apple on the floor, or you can go to the top where it's nice and crispy and juicy. I could choose. I have that ladder now. I can go down or I can go up. I can go get a ratchet. I can go higher and higher to the top of the tree. But the thing about it is, I worked hard for that. Melissa makes money. She got her own vehicle. She can go work anywhere in the U.S. She can cook, clean, and she can fuck. Those are all my credentials. That's what I wanted. I paid for what I want. She wants a new bra, I get her a bra. She want new panties, get new panties. She want whatever. Listen, if you cannot provide that type of shit for your woman, she's gonna go to somebody else. Because she's gonna say, "Well, shit, I'm in a goddamn situation that the motherfucker ain't doing what he need to be doing. So I'm gonna go to somebody else who's gonna do for me." You gotta ask yourself, what do you want, and who's gonna give it to you? Either these women are not. If they can't get it from you brothers, they're gonna go to their white daddy system. Can't get mad.
And stop thinking that every woman is supposed to submit to your ass.
I don't listen. You listen. I'm gonna tell you, brothers. You don't want every woman to submit to you. You just want that one. I don't know why y'all think that somehow y'all dick is from Wakanda and that you got fire and vibranium and condoms and shit. Just get that one woman that you need. You only need that one woman to help you build. If you're already building, she should be coming with the hammer. She should be coming with the goddamn chisel. You only need that one good one. You don't need all of them. If she don't fit what you want, go. Hey, it was good while it lasted. Good head game. See ya. Keep it moving. But you should not have to just take what's given to you. Find out what's good for you. Stop being a victim saying that I got to be with this. And it don't have to be a black woman. I'm not going to tell y'all that you're only just restricted just to black people. Get what you deserve. Yeah, Joe said that. Get whatever you deserve. Don't think that, oh, Joe's pro-black. No, I ain't going to ever tell y'all that dumb shit.
But at the same time, don't be a $10 an hour dude looking for a chick making six figures. Looking for that model type chick.
What if they got game? What if they got game? What if they got game? But you said you like fucking with fuck boys and you making money.
I fuck with fuck boy, but the dude I'm fucking with now is not a fuck boy, and he's.
But are you working and busting your ass for him to want to look at you?
I mean, I also have a better job now, so I don't have to work 3 jobs.
Okay, see, you just proved my point. He sees you doing stuff, he's doing stuff. So guess what? It's more applicable than the one to talk to you. Again, when a man is doing what he wants to do, he can pick and choose what type of woman he wants to deal with.
But that's my point. I'm saying there's too many $10 an hour. He ain't a $10 an hour dude. My point is that there's a lot of dudes out here barely making ends meet that expect a woman that's making $50,000 on, and that's not even a lot of money.
Now, what if the man has lip service where he could just pull that woman?
I mean, it is what I'm not talking about. I'm speaking in general. You know that. Mm-hmm. I'm saying there's a lot of dudes out here, you know, the types that I'm talking about, who feel that they deserve that IG type model person looking chick when they wear a B cup size bra and have ashy skin. Those are the dudes I'm talking about. And you know exactly the type of dudes I'm talking about.
So the thing about it is, I'll say that for another show. I'm gonna say that for another show, but honestly, I mean, I'm gonna say that for another show.
But am I right? Do you understand where I'm going with that?
Well, I see what you're going with that, but I'm also going to say, like, there's more.
That's another show.
I see more men. Well, yep, say for another show. I'll say for another show.
But you understand. I just want to make it clear that you understand what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying that for you brothers, if you're doing something and you see that IG chick, leave her alone. If you see that woman and she does not up to par for what you want, leave her be. Treat her like a Brittany Jenner. Just fuck her and then leave her be. Just leave her be. Use it for what you need, get your nut, and just keep it moving. Just let her know you was only good for a fuck. That's simple.
And use a rubber.
That's it.
And use a rubber. Protect yourself. Man, I tell the women the same thing. Protect yourself.
Like I said, it is that simple. But honestly, now I'm seeing most of the brothers in my circle, they're getting very selective on the type of women that they want. And I do not hold them for that. They got the money, so they can be selective. They have a certain type of woman, certain type of figures, certain type of stature that they're going for. If you work hard and you play hard, you can choose whatever woman you want. And if you say that you only want this type of specific woman, I know there's going to be a party later on in Charleston. They literally vetted every female that they want at that party. I think that's pretty badass because now they know what's coming to the party. So they're going to have successful men in a venue with successful women, and they're going to.
And you know what? I don't get offended by stuff like I've seen stuff like it's like, oh, should we be offended? I don't get offended by that.
No, you shouldn't. You shop for what you like.
If that's what they wanted, if that's the type of woman they wanted, you know, I don't get offended by stuff like that. That's on them. You know, you got to pay to play.
Well, guys, that's it. We just want to do the early morning coffee talk with me and Jay.
And just real quick before you go to on an end note, Kev said you got to protect yourself. I have severe stroller allergies, so I always wrap it up.
That's a pretty yeah. I don't, like I said, I wear a condom. I know some of y'all get bothered by Jay. Sometimes she bothers me too. But then again, she means well. She's just telling y'all stuff from her vices of life. It's nothing. It's not, like I said, it should hurt. But then again, if you're doing what you need to do, it should brush right off.
If it don't apply, then let it fly.
Because she's just talking from the side of her neck sometimes. And I just like, yeah. If it don't apply, it should not even apply. I mean, honestly, like for me, like I try to tell a lot of guys, like, listen, man, I used to get bothered by some guys and some women's talking points, but then I look at them and then I'm just like, hey, yeah, I don't like it that she's talking about how she had a few bodies, but if she's doing what she's supposed to be doing and she ain't popping out babies, I mean, shit, whatever man's choosing to fuck with her that night, then hey, that's doing them. I don't hold it.
I ain't on the system. I'm just so, hey.
I think the thing about it is, for some of y'all, when you hear a woman that's talking about she's fucking a lot of dudes, that to me, I don't give a shit. To me, I could care less because you got one life, and if that's how you want to live your life, then do it. But you got to understand, when you play the game, hey, that's you. You choose to play. Now, the same thing, but if y'all out there making a bunch of babies and you say, oh, man, the system, you know, why is it doing this to me? I'm like, well, you weren't playing the game smart.
Right.
So it is what it is. One kid.
It takes one time. It takes one time.
So it is what it is, guys. This is Joe from BMT2, signing off with me and Jay. See you guys. Peace. Say goodbye.
Bye, Jay.